Friends, today I'm going to talk about herd immunity. It seems that the Indian government has decided that getting herd immunity is the best possible way to combat coronavirus, though nobody has said this word in public. But there have been indications, many chief ministers are saying that we have to live with the virus. But the key is from today onwards, May 12th onwards, the government is going to run passenger trains starting from Delhi initially to various state capitals, and special trains which are run for migrant laborers. Previously, they left one berth free for social distancing. Again, from yesterday onwards, they'll be running on full capacity. And previously, they were from source to end. Now they'll be stopping at three places also. Of course, the governments are planning to relax many of the severe restrictions during lockdowns. The norms for discharging the patients, positive patients, has been completely changed from yesterday. Previously, the positive patients have to test negative twice within 24 hours. Only then they can be discharged. Now, if they can be discharged after 4 days if they don't have any fever without any testing. Without any testing, they can be discharged after 10 days of showing symptoms, and after 4 days they don't have continuously no fever at all, fever or any other symptoms. So even while they are positive, they can be discharged, but they can be in quarantine in their houses. So probably that is due to lack of testing kits and also lack of space in the government hospitals, because many health workers themselves have been tested positive, and many hospitals have been closed also and quarantined. So maybe that may be the reason. But whatever it is, we are preparing to live with the virus, and maybe this dreaded word of herd immunity. It is in the news, lot of newspapers and the social media, and in the TV also. Many people are discussing about it, but without understanding it. What exactly is herd immunity? Herd immunity is a epidemiological concept. It's a state in which a population, a group of people residing in that area, the population uh, gets immunity either naturally or artificially, most of them, so that the virus, the disease doesn't spread in that community, in that population. So how to get that immunity? So that's a question. I said this case either naturally you will get it because you are infected with it. Artificially, through vaccination, you can get that immunity. So these are the two ways you can get it. So this is through the herd immunity concept only we have fought diseases like measles, mumps, chickenpox, polio, because we have developed vaccines for that, and the vaccines are given to the even while after the child, immediately after the children are born, so they get immunity. If you take the case of let's say mumps, mumps is not a really a life-threatening disease like COVID-19. It has a basic reproduction rate of 10 to 12 people. That means if a person is infected, he will infect 10 to 12 people more. But the fatality rate is, of course, is very, very low. So for a disease like mumps, for a person, they calculated that around 92% of the people have to get immunity to for the whole population to receive the herd immunity. So the disease cannot spread because almost everybody is infected. So it is like the there are a lot of unfortunately I can't show the graph of that, all that, etc., where the ball moves and all that, and how it comes into touch with the unaffected people, and how they get infected, and how they keep on moving, and how they keep spreading. So around 92% of the people have to get immunity to that, but now we have achieved 100% this thing because immunity, because of vaccine. um, so that is an advantage in this kind of thing. But even after that, in spite of that, last year in August 2019, measles also we have got vaccine. one girl, a teenager from New Zealand who visited Disneyland in California, Southern California. She had measles. And she spread it to many people in California when she visited Disneyland. So, but you won't have that explosion kind of a situation where huge number of people are affected. So you can contain it because you have got vaccine for it. When you come to coronavirus, this basic reproduction rate as of now stands at 3. But as you know, there are many things we still don't know about the virus. Because some people who have got positive and but tested negative twice consecutively, they were released from hospital. Many people in South Korea were tested positive again. And we hardly know anything about this particular virus. Initially, we thought that it will affect only the reproductive system, sorry, respiratory system. But now we know it affects the heart, it affects brain, and it affects intestines also. Previously, we thought that children may be affected, but not seriously. They may test positive, but not serious impact is not there. But in US, in New York, they found that many children have been affected with the Kawasaki disease. This thing, it affects a lot of inflammation on the arteries, which affects the cardiovascular system. It causes conjunctivitis, it causes rashes, etc. Many children are on ICU in US. So we don't even know much about many things about this virus right now. But whatever it is calculated that to achieve herd immunity, artificial herd immunity. What about natural immunity? Can you afford natural immunity? For achieving anything for by either through vaccination or people getting affected and getting this thing, you need around, for it is calculated that around 60 to 80% of the people need to be immunized, need to get immunity for COVID-19. So I'll put it at the middle point, 70%. So take a country like India. So if for 70% of the people must get immunity for prevention of the spread in the community to achieve that herd immunity. So 70% out of 130 crore is above 100 crore. Let us take it at 100 crore. And as things stands now, in India, around 4.4% of the people have been admitted in ICU or needed oxygen therapy, including ventilator support. So roughly around 5%. So that means 5% of the people, 5 crore people need to be, have this. Right now, the amount of ICU beds what we have is around 1.35 lakh. But if around 5 crore people will be affected, where are we going to put them? And all of them require not only hospitalization but ICU support, ICU or ventilator support also. And as present, the fatality rate in India is 3.4%, though globally the rate is around 7%. Because in countries like Italy, Spain, the rate is very high, more than 10% there. And it was very surprisingly, in US, initially the doctors put most of the severe patients in ventilators. The fatality rate was very high. But in the last 1 week, 10 days, they decided that they found that most of the deaths are happening to people who are put on ventilator. Now they are not putting people on ventilator, and therefore in the last 1 week, the death rate has come down drastically from daily more than 2,000 deaths to less than 1,500 deaths. So we don't know. As I said, many things are happening. But assuming that, right now the death rate in India is around 3.4%. So even at that case, but it is likely to increase when large number of people are infected, because it will overwhelm the healthcare system, and many people will be left to die. There won't be any beds in the hospital to even admit them, to even to provide them good food and other things. So it could be, I'm not putting even at, globally it is 7%. Even if we put it at 5%, the death will be around 5 crores in India. A whole generation of people, old people, about 65, immunity compromised people will die. Are you ready to take that risk? I don't think so. Then other way to get herd immunity is through vaccination. I put a big video on vaccination 3-4 days back. Please refer to it. We don't know whether we'll get vaccine. I said more than 100 vaccines are right now being tested, but only 9 have entered the human trial stage. We don't know whether we may not get a vaccine at all. Nobody can guarantee you that, because as I said, many diseases like AIDS and not even non-viral diseases also do not have a vaccine at all, because we are not able to find a vaccine. We have to hope that we have to find a vaccine. There is no other thing right now what we can do about it. The whole concept of and even if you get a vaccine, this is not a complete guarantee, because as I said, this virus, we are so many new things are there. It's completely novel. So the right name is novel COVID-19 is, it seems, because we came to learn more about it. As I said, in South Korea, people who have become negative have also tested positive again, and the virus could mutate in response to a vaccine. So that vaccine what we developed may not even provide security for a long period of time, because the virus may mutate, and then you have to keep finding another vaccine for that. And I've already said the practical problems of finding vaccines to be given for 700 crore people in the world, 7 billion people in the world. Who is going to foot the bill, and all the logistical problems of manufacturing and all those things around. So herd immunity by through vaccination is a few years away. So let us forget about it. But in the meantime, if you are trying through natural immunity, because you get infected and you won't get infected, there's no guarantee, because you may get infected again back. Because like common flu, I've given that example that day also. Common flu, you may be infected, but it doesn't give you lifelong immunity. After 3 months, you again may be infected by the same common flu. So nobody knows whether once infected, the person will get lifelong immunity for COVID-19 or not. Itself is a big question. So herd immunity concept is completely rubbish at the moment. Though, as I said, maybe with the politicians and many bureaucrats also who don't understand much about it, may blindly go, because helplessness, the lack of planning, that's the whole problem. So what is the present solution to it? I've always been talking about this model, a very low cost model. It has been done by Vietnam. Vietnam is not a small country. It is a population of around 10 crore. Tamil Nadu and Kerala combined, or Bihar. But it has a total, carries 1,000-kilometer border with China, and there are regular train services and bus services, and people can move also across the border. In spite of, and there are all huge socio-economic connections with China, with a lot of part of the supply chain network, with a lot of factories supplying goods to China. But in spite of that, there are only 288 cases in Vietnam with absolutely no deaths. 288 cases only. It's not a rich country like Taiwan or South Korea, where it can keep on testing and all. It doesn't have money. It is an LDC, least developed country, much poorer than India. But they were able to achieve this. Because in January, they took the precautionary method. That is the most important thing. They did all that in January and February. The first case was January 23rd, during the Let, that is a New Year, Chinese New Year period. But in January middle itself, the government has said it is a national epidemic, and given elaborate instructions to the states and provinces and the local authorities for containment of that. There is no big lockdown. The factories are always functioning, and but there are restrictions on movement. Social distancing are strictly followed. But there is transparency. That's the most important thing, which is not there in India at all. Again, Indian Express reported that in Delhi there's a huge mismatch between the death rate given by the individual hospitals and the final thing given by the government. I think it is true for all the states in India. So they are suppressing the number of infections and the number of deaths. This is what many people say this right now. So the lack of transparency is a big problem. There the government was completely transparent. So they quarantined people who came from abroad. A strict social distancing norm. Schools were closed early, and they took all the precautions. They used the months of January and February to manufacture all the kits and medicines. Now they are exporting it to not to their neighbors, poorer neighbors like Cambodia and Laos. They are also exporting testing kits to US, Spain, and Italy. A poor country is doing that. They quarantined only the containment areas are only the areas where some cases have been detected, not the whole country. So they were ready for that. Then, and of course, they created some nationalistic fervor that it is a kind of a foreign enemy, so we have to battle it. Of course, Vietnam is the only country which has defeated mighty colonial empires like France, and later Diem Bien Phu is a legend. US, of course, Vietnam War, everybody knows about it, and later China also in a border skirmish. So they feel that okay, we have fought off the mighty people, mighty countries, and why can't we fought off this small virus? they created a collective consciousness among people that we have to follow whatever the government is saying to do that. Here we don't have social distancing at all. People have, that's a big problem with this kind of virus. That's the reason goes ups and down, the number of infections, because as soon as the number of infections come down, people stop following the social distancing precautions, and many people go without mask also. That is the reason then there's a spurt in the new infections, etc. So of course, India has missed that initial bus. I have been talking about it. The government did not accept that there is a problem at all till March, when some opposition leaders said that there is a big problem in February. They mocked at them as usual, and so in the social media, the bucks did that, and now we are paying the price for that. But still, right now, of course, due to economic reasons, they are trying to restart the economy and telling people that you have to live with it, without telling them what is the next step, what the government is planning, how to go about it. No information is given to the people. So the thing is rife with rumors, etc. Of course, by showering petals, flowers, or by lighting diyas and stuff like that, all this nonsense symbolic stuff is not going to solve the problem at all. What are the steps you are going to take after 17th of May? So lockdown, yes, what good. It prevented, without lockdown, India would have probably got 5 times more cases by now. Though many people believe that a lot of cases are suppressed in the media, they are not giving the complete information. What is the next step? Government has to come up with that. Some people talk about, some eminent doctors like Dr. Sainath Reddy is talking about herd protection. So not herd immunity, herd protection. So that can be only done when you follow social distancing, and also give proper protecting the PPEs to a policeman, to the cleaning staff, etc. Not only to the doctors and nurses, many other people also require it, because they are also meeting so many people, and they are being exposed to the virus daily. So all these measures are needed, but open discussion has to take place, and the government has to come up, okay, this we want it, how to do it. We should have a discussion about that. It's not only about prime minister talking to chief ministers. For example, precise things are to be done. That is what the Maharashtra CM told yesterday in the meeting, the video conferencing of all the chief ministers with the prime minister. Don't keep on giving general blah blah blah, which is meaningless. Give precise instructions what we have to do it. Whether the center knows it, whether they have the capability to understand the magnitude of the problem, it is $1 million question. Not even $1 million question. It is a 1.3 billion people question.